certainly for me, I guess I have, it's hugely sad to lose a study animal that you're very, very familiar with, you spend a lot of time with, you handle when you immobilize them to put radio collars on, so you get up really close and personal with them. They all have personalities, so it's very distressing when they die, not only from trophy hunting, but from other causes as well. But I guess also as a scientist, it's part of what I'm studying. So, it's very, very informative for us.
I mean, it's interesting because, of course, the world is now thinking about Cecil the Lion, become a really big story everywhere, as far as I can tell. I wonder if you think this is a bit of a watershed moment, because this one case, it's clearly unusual, but not unique, is it? One case caused this enormous storm. I wonder whether it will change attitudes towards this kind of hunting.
I do think that, it sort of shines a spotlight on the kind of conservation challenges we have in keeping lion populations viable and there in Africa. Lions are in big trouble. African habitat is disappearing really fast. Human populations in Africa are going to double in the next 50 years. So, lions, they need huge amounts of habitat. They come into conflict with people. And, we really need to concentrate on conserving them, because if we do nothing, they won't be there in 50 years.
But just help us out in the debate about hunting, because you do hear people saying hunting is a way of conserving animals because it is raising tens of thousands of dollars sometimes for preservation. Is that right, or is it the tourists who want to look at the animals who are raising the money to, if you like, preserve animals like lions?
Well, I think it's both. I think, hunting has, as much as people might detest it, it does have a role in conservation. And I'll tell you why. About 1.5 million square kilometers of African wildlife habitat is protected as hunting reserves. If there was no hunting, what would happen to that land? And that far exceeds any land that's protected by national parks. So, as a conservation strategy for protecting habitat, it really works.
Do you think anyone involved in that hunt, anybody who was there, could have known what they could not have known what they were doing was illegal, baiting it out of the protected area where it could then be hunted?
I think it was pretty clear to anyone who had any sort of knowledge of hunting in Zimbabwe that there was no lion hunting quota in that area. So, it can't possibly have been anything else but illegal.
What do you think should happen to Walter Palmer, this American dentist? Because his life has changed, I think it's fair to say, if you look at the reaction around him in his neighborhood.
I think he's under enormous scrutiny. This is not a good time in his life. Has he done something wrong? Was he aware of it? I'm not sure. I'd be speculating if I said.
What about the role of your own equipment, the GPS tracking of Cecil the Lion, in, if you like, uncovering what had happened to him, and if solving the puzzle of his fate?
Yeah, I mean, I think we radio collar these lions so that we can actually follow where they go, follow what happens to them, their fates, kind of determine what threatens these populations. And of course, that's allowed us to say, well, this animal was trophy hunted, and to pass on that information to the relevant authorities to investigate. And to be fair, they've investigated this really thoroughly.
One final question on Cecil's sons, the next generation, the cubs, because I've heard it said that with Cecil dead, the cubs will definitely be killed. But I've detected some doubt about that. What is the story of the next generation?
In this case, actually, Cecil had a coalition partner who's still alive, and it's likely that he'll protect the cubs. So I don't think there's an immediate danger of them being killed by another male. But this is a kind of a feature of lion biology, lion behavior. So it's perfectly natural for lions to kill cubs that aren't their own.